We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with some absolutely crazy news regarding Roman Reigns' status with WWE, and if wrestling fans thought the likes of R-Truth and Carlito being unceremoniously released from WWE over the weekend was shocking, things may only be getting crazier in the coming weeks, as it appears as though Roman Reigns could very well be getting released and leaving WWE, once again highlighting how this new TKO-led WWE is causing some serious problems behind the scenes. Now, a few days ago, former interim Raw general manager Jonathan Coachman and former WWE employee Tommy Carlucci had discussed on their Last Word podcast that Roman Reigns is not safe from the ongoing TKO budget cuts, with Coachman saying, quote, "We know that Roman Reigns just came out and said, I'm gonna sign another 2-year deal and then I'm done, and he reportedly makes between $15 and $20 million a year. Does that math make sense to pay a guy who might appear 10 to 20 times in a year, and he's making, at that number he's making over $1 million an appearance? Is it worth all that when all these other superstars are getting dropped?" Former 30-year WWE employee Tommy Carlucci replied with, quote, "Yeah, he's not around a lot now. I think the TKO executives are gonna really rethink how they're gonna handle Roman Reigns. They won't cut him completely, but I can guarantee you he's not getting nowhere near 15 to 20 million. And they say if you don't like it, lump it. That's the point, they're executives. They didn't grow up in this business like Vince McMahon made this business, and Triple H made this. But you think Triple H is gonna lay his life on the line for Roman's contract? I don't think so. I think he's running scared, guys." As most of you are well aware, Roman Reigns is one of, if not the highest paid superstar currently in WWE, and given his limited schedule, it's not far-fetched to see where Coachman and Carlucci were coming from here, but some news was just broken a couple of hours ago that has changed this whole topic. It's no longer just speculative talk. Roman Reigns could seriously be at risk of getting released under this new TKO-led WWE. While speaking on Lucha Libre Online, wrestling veteran Hugo Savinovich revealed that he had received some shocking news while he was at the gym from Lucha Libre Online president Javier Gonzalez and vice president Michael Morales, suggesting that TKO are basically trying to renegotiate Roman Reigns' contract, with the belief being that the WWE believe Reigns is making too much money given his limited status, and as many of you could likely agree, this contract renegotiation will likely end terribly for WWE, as there's no way Roman is going to take kindly to a pay cut, with Hugo revealing, quote, "I was at the gym receiving information and studying what I'm about to share with you. And wow, honestly, the more I saw the data being shared with me by Lucha Libre Online president Javier Gonzalez and vice president Michael Morales, I couldn't believe it. After I finished at the gym, I sat down to look at everything, and what I'm going to talk to you about has to do with Roman Reigns." That's right, Roman Reigns. I never thought we'd be discussing this topic. If I was surprised, I think you'll be even more shocked. On the Last Word podcast featuring Jonathan Coachman and Tommy Carlucci, they revealed some shocking news. They said TKO executives are reconsidering how to handle Roman Reigns. While they won't outright release him, he won't be making $15 million per year anymore. Now, why $15 million? Let me break it down. Roman Reigns' base salary is $5 million, but then there are add-ons, pay-per-views, video game deals like WWE 2K, promotional appearances, merchandise royalties. He earns 30% on merch, which is huge, and special bonuses like appearances in Saudi Arabia. Plus, he earns a cut from ticket sales. All of this adds up to $15 million a year. Even outside WWE, Roman is a valuable brand. He has agents, but deals still go through World Wrestling Entertainment, which takes a percentage. However, the bulk of the money goes to Roman Reigns. Right now, there's talk of him being cast in another Hollywood film. And because he's under WWE contract, WWE still takes their cut, but Roman still walks away with millions. And TKO, they're cutting costs across the board. We've seen recent releases and there are rumors of more. Remember when Nick Khan, a major WWE exec, announced he was selling $4 million worth of stock? That raised eyebrows. TKO is saying, Roman's not around full time. Why are we paying him so much? So they want to renegotiate. Now honestly, if these reports of WWE trying to renegotiate Roman Reigns' contract are true, with the sentiment being that the company wants to give Roman a pay cut, we can almost guarantee that this situation ends in disaster for WWE. While it may make sense for Roman Reigns to earn less, given the fact that he's no longer a full-time wrestler, Roman's in the position he's in because he's the biggest star in the business, and we doubt at this stage of his career, Roman is going to take a pay cut. In all likelihood, Roman Reigns is going to react to this by just quitting or leaving. Roman already has one foot out the door in WWE and is trying to transition into Hollywood, and if WWE are going to try taking money from Roman, that will definitely not end well and could cause Reigns to retire early. All we can say is that TKO have been making some disastrous decisions lately, and losing Roman Reigns over a pay dispute could ultimately be the worst one yet. Fans have been patiently waiting for the OTC to return to TV, but this contract renegotiation could very well be the reason Roman still hasn't returned, because he's not taking kindly to the company trying to get him to sign a deal for less money. And honestly, we can't blame him. Perhaps WWE feel Reigns is making too much money partly because of the fact that he's not really been featured as the top guy on television recently and has been working non-title feuds, but that's not Roman's fault, it's the booking he's been given to work with. He's still the biggest star WWE have on the roster championship around his waist or not, and it's actually insane that the company are trying to renegotiate Roman's contract at this stage of his career. Roman Reigns has been talking about retirement quite a bit recently, suggesting that he may only have a year or two left after his current contract expires in April 2026. But if WWE are going to try forcing Roman to take a pay cut, again, this could very well end in disaster, and Roman's WrestleMania 41 match against CM Punk and Seth Rollins could ultimately be his last. Now, there's been a lot of talk surrounding Triple H's status with WWE as the Chief Content Officer, and if what former interim Raw General Manager Jonathan Coachman is reporting turns out to be true, then Hunter may soon find himself released and out of work in WWE within the next year and a half. During a recent appearance on the Two-Man Power Trip podcast, Jonathan Coachman opened up on Triple H's rumored departure from WWE, while at the same time explaining the power struggle that's currently going on behind the scenes, suggesting that The Rock holds a much more powerful position backstage than Triple H, revealing, quote, on the report Emanuel was the #1 guy. He is the guy. He also runs 2 or 3 other things that they run. It gets very complicated. For this discussion, The Rock got anywhere from 30 to 45 million in the last year to come back and be on the board of directors. So on their financials, you've got Ari, you've got another name, and then you've got Vince McMahon. Vince still holds the 3rd most stock options or pieces of stock in the company. Then you keep going down, there's only about 8 names on the list, and there's Dwayne Johnson. And then you got Nick Khan, the president of WWE. The one name that is not on there, Paul Levesque, Triple H. And from my time there and my time with The Rock, I know for a fact that he does not get along with Triple H. That does not go away. They've always been butting heads for years and years for a lot of different reasons. And I actually like Triple H a lot. The reason I said on my show there's a big power struggle, well, first of all, I talked to 2 people close to the situation. I can't tell you who they are, but I've got really good intel. If you look at everything that I just laid out for you on your show, then you can see that I'm right, and we predicted that within 18 months, Triple H will not be running WWE anymore. Now, while this news of Triple H potentially being removed from his position of power in WWE would have been seen as terrible news by most fans just a year ago, with some of the recent booking decisions that have been happening on the main roster under Hunter's watch, not to mention R-Truth's recent release, which was apparently given the green light by Triple H. No doubt there will likely be a lot less fans upset over Triple H leaving, and let us know down in the comment section below if you would personally be upset to see Triple H forced out of his position of power behind the scenes, or would this actually be a good thing, and who would you replace Hunter with as WWE's new Chief Content Officer should Triple H eventually get released?